the same time, that was also true for Luminosity. And right now, we're seeing Ube completely dominate anytime he's playing Genji. So if we're getting even further into that, and you have Spree on Zarya and you let Icefelt play Tracer, which it looks like they might be doing, this could very well be Luminosity's map to take.
Certainly could be. I mean, we've seen Icefelt just go off on Tracer and do some wicked stuff, so definitely be keeping an eye out on him and Spree as well. I mean, of course, Ube, he can also do some pretty wacky stuff on Genji, but Spree is a very fun Zarya to watch. He's once that man gets some high charge, he can just start melting through people left and right. So definitely want to keep an eye on him. And now Complexity, they will have Hardblue on that Tracer as well. As you heard in his interview, it's been something that he's been playing a bit more recently. They will be running triple DPS on this, it seems. Complexity will at least. Luminosity's still running the double DPS, but a triple DPS composition for Complexity. We'll see if this one pays off. Now with that new patch coming through, teams have definitely been trying some different things. Hardblue doing a good job already of getting on to Hedon a bit, and 2 kills going the way, 3 now actually for Luminosity, and they only lose 1 in the process. It's been all Luminosity here. Icefelt a big part of that, just keeping the pressure on them in the back line and really just dishing out damage, and that will be Luminosity taking the point first here on Lijiang.
So far, so good for Luminosity. Complexity's triple DPS does have potential, but right there, Hardblue, while being a problem, was easily ignored by Luminosity, out-healed the kind of damage he was doing. They need to find somebody else, in particular probably Nicholas, to try and combine with him there, but right now, Complexity, they're trying to take it to Luminosity, but Luminosity's coming out on top big time. That's 4 down, 5 down.
Oh, and Joe Meister getting
all
sent
6
back as well. All 6. There's the team wipe horn being played, and Luminosity looking incredibly strong here off the start of Lijiang, and Complexity is still running with this composition. That they have this triple DPS setup. As you said before, Hardblue, I mean, he was behind Luminosity, but was really just harassing. But hold that thought, Ube goes in with a Nano Blade, 3 kills off of that, and that will certainly put Complexity through on another team wipe. Luminosity is just very strong at the moment. 55% and counting for them. They did lose Hedon in the end, but they're going to have to work back in quick, Complexity. They might have an opportunity here.
It's possible. Mineral may have also gone back to escort him back, depending on their own timing. They've been pretty good about that in that pass. That Gravazon coming out, catching all of Complexity inside it, but the shield is staying up, so Complexity's going to dust that off, and no real big come-ups here for Luminosity. In fact, it's turning on him. They've got 2 down already. Spree's moments away. Spree falls as well.
Yeah, there was no opportunity for anybody to follow up on that Graviton. It's all Complexity now, as they've done a good job of working back in. Torque, a big part of that, as he gets 3 kills, so Complexity will finally put themselves on the map here on Lijiang, get some time ticking down on the point, but Luminosity had done really a fantastic job of managing their ultimates. You know, they saved good combinations. It was just that last Graviton. There was no one in a position to follow up on it, and they're looking to re-push onto this point as they move through that right-hand side back around the point, but actually faking it now, looking to come back maybe towards main as Super Pluke is there, but he'll be trying to get back. He's very low on health, and honestly needs to get some heals, and they're on the point. They're just a hair from capping it back. Luminosity, they had players there. Complexity just managing to stay in it. Nicholas is the first to fall. Now 2 kills, 3 kills going the way of Luminosity, and it's a bit of trouble for Complexity at the moment as they've once again essentially been team wiped. Hardblue is stuck behind the point. He'll go down. That is a wipe coming out. Now they'll have one last attempt at getting back here as Luminosity's at 90%.
Luminosity, I feel like they just sent a pretty big message to Complexity there. A little bit of a misstep. We squandered a Graviton, but it's okay. We're going to take this point back because we want it. But another Dragon Blade coming out of Ube. He's already found one. He's looking for more.
Oh, he wants to go in with the rest of it. He's just slicing and dicing. Torque was one that fell. Super Pluke as well. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but he's still in there doing his thing. And he does have a Winston to deal with, so he's gonna want to get out of dodge here, but Winghaven really just needs to stall for Complexity if he can, but there's nobody around to touch this point. Torque desperately trying to make his way in, did touch it, but still there is no one there for Complexity to follow up on that. Luminosity looking very strong on Lijiang here. They'll take stage 1.
Very dominant performance from Luminosity. This is absolutely playing to their strengths. Ice Felt on Tracer, Ube on Genji, Spree on Zarya, of course Hedon on whatever support he wants to play, but particularly Ana. This is a deadly team to be playing against, and I'm not necessarily sure what Complexity can do to try and come back from this. Perhaps they're going to even invest further, it looks like. Perhaps going into a hyper dive, bringing out Winghaven onto Winston. We'll see how that pays out, because right now they certainly need an answer to shut down what Ube is doing, and Winston might be it.
Yeah, they have been looking so solid so far. Luminosity, I think a big part of that for them, I touched on it earlier, but the ultimate management from them has been quite solid. I mean, they're only using what they need to take a point or to hold a point, and it seems like they always have something for the upcoming fight, whether it be a Dragon Blade or a Graviton, even a Pulse Bomb, just something for them to work with off of in the fight, and they've been doing that incredibly well so far on Lijiang. As we head into stage number 2 here, Winghaven charges across the way off the bat. Super Pluke had gone down. They trade out 1-for-1 as now Luminosity takes a player advantage in the fight. They're continuing to duke it out on the point here, but again, it's all Luminosity at the moment. They still are fighting it out here, and oh, you gotta finish. There we go, finishing off Shake. I was gonna say that's easy pickings for him, and they do manage to finish it off. So it is yet again Luminosity striking first on the point.
Right off the bat, Ube taking down Winghaven, and from that point onwards, it's Complexity that has to back off the point. Luminosity poured it on. It got a little bit of an exchange back and forth, with Luminosity obviously coming out on top. Perhaps Complexity making a little bit of a misstep there. Complexity just trying to get in the front door now as a big choke point here on this portion of Lijiang Tower. So far, Ube is just absolutely spraying anybody who wants to set foot through here, but the rest of Luminosity right behind him. Spree did go down in this last engagement, but Complexity, it's going to take a little bit more time to be able to power through that door, unless perhaps Luminosity is backing off to recover Spree and probably come back after it.
Well, they're going to have a Nano Blade at the ready to defend this with, and yes, they're going straight in with it. Ube popping it off. 2 kills for him. He's looking for a bit more, using the bubble as Hardblue to keep himself alive, but he's already gotten enough kills for Luminosity to keep in control of this point. There's nothing Complexity really can do at this point. Ooh, almost was able to get Joe Meister there off the reflect, but man, Luminosity has really found their rhythm here on Lijiang. Complexity having a bit of trouble, but now with these ultimates coming online, they have the Graviton Pulse Bomb combo. They're going to want to make good use out of it. Pretty big ultimate advantage, and this is their time to retake the point. As they come right back in here, Graviton out on both sides. Hardblue waiting it out, and there will be sound barriers used, but it is still Luminosity in the kill feed. Complexity are just not finding the value out of the ultimates that they've used, and oh, this is trouble for them. Luminosity now is up to 85% on the point. Complexity is just going to have to regroup very quickly, and I mean, you might be relying on a Tracer at this point to get onto the point in time. I don't know if they'll really be able to get there. Graviton is going to come out, and they need to get to the point, but Luminosity is just shutting them out from it. There's no chance at actually getting there. Dragon Blade comes out, but it's just too late in the end. Complexity unable to get themselves back. Luminosity in full flow at the moment, up 2-0 on Lijiang.
Pretty much everything about that map was in Luminosity's favor from the start. In particular, when they pulled back to regroup with Spree, take the Nano Blade in the air just out of sight of Complexity and then drop down right on top of him was something pretty amazing to watch. And unfortunately for Complexity, I don't think they had a chance to even see it coming. You can see right there, it's just too late.
There's really nothing you can do about it in that situation unless Shake were able to hit a sleep dart right off the bat, or if you have Earth Shatter in that position, you can try and hit that on the ulting Ube, but it is so difficult to hit either of those combinations, and really making it happen there is Luminosity. One more stage. If they can take it here, they will take a 1-0 lead in this overall best of 5. So now looking to come back in. Luminosity still with a pretty similar composition to what they've been running. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. And Complexity still trying to force this triple DPS setup, and I don't think it's really been working all that well for them so far. They do manage to find Ube off the start. 1-for-1 trade so far, but it is going to be just a bit of a poking back and forth and trading kills. Down 3 is both sides, and they are continuing to fight it for the point, but Complexity have gotten themselves there. No one else is around from Luminosity, except for Hedon, who might actually end up going down quite late. Definitely looking to clean up this kill if they can. There was no bubble there in time. And that will be Complexity striking first here on this point.
That's going to be big for Complexity. Defending as people try and cross this bridge is certainly a lot easier than being the people trying to retake it. Oftentimes, a team that's able to play pretty well and take the point first is able to ride that advantage out through the rest. Maybe exchanging hands once or twice, but a full reversal is not something that these two teams are very likely to have in the cards here. But right now, Icefeld already with a Pulse Bomb. He's going to be looking for that. Hardblue on Tracer. He's looking for his own. He's got that Pulse Bomb out, but it's going to get shielded and nothing's going to come of it.
And now Hardblue's just trying to keep being a pain and a thorn in the side of Luminosity, so to speak. Now going in as Torque with that Nano Blade. He's been able to find Spree and Heat, and 3 kills coming out for Torque as he's just shredding through the ranks of Luminosity. It is all Complexity in the kill feed, and that will be yet another wipe coming out from them. It will be now 60%, just about down and counting. And now, well, better late than never for Complexity to get themselves back into this game. They haven't won this stage yet, but they are definitely looking good to do so. But Luminosity will have that Nano Blade combination up very shortly.
Well, this stage in particular lets Nicholas fly around a lot more with Pharah, and he's been pretty great with her overall. It also lets Winghaven choose a lot more angles to drop in and chase after and make sure he can catch Ube's Genji. But right now, Luminosity does have 5 ultimates online right now. It's going to be sound barriers coming out from both sides. The barrage is going to get shut down.
Sound barriers on both sides indeed, and Luminosity actually have the upper hand in the fight. They have been all over it this time around, as they didn't even have to invest really all that much in the fight either. It was pretty much a sound barrier and a graviton out from Luminosity, and they've been able to take the point. So that's really good when you can take a point without too much investment like that, and they'll have a lot to defend with for this next fight, including a Nano Blade. So they should be able to hold on for a little while, but Complexity only needs to retake once, and they will have this stage.
It's certainly a single possession fight, and with 5% left, if Complexity takes it, I don't think Luminosity's gonna be able to get back in time, but a Nano Blade coming out from Ube. He's already found 2 targets, both supports down for Complexity. Ube, he's gonna be looking for more, but right now, the Dragon Blade's gonna go down. He already connects with Nicholas as well, and Winghaven. 4 kills for Ube just in this last fight alone.
Now Ube looking to clean up even more, finding Hardblue. Hello, Ube. As Luminosity's looking to get back into this stage off the map. They have a 2-0 lead overall, so certainly a good position, and they will have ultimates to defend with. I mean, really, in terms of Luminosity, all they may need is just an Earthshatter, but now Complexity's going to engage with Winghaven on that Winston. Earthshatter does come out. Does it land enough? That's the question. 2 kills do go the way of Luminosity. It's been back and forth. Nicholas is really keeping Complexity in this fight as he continues to fly around, but Spree has been the anti-air for Luminosity at the moment. Now with Torque going down, that'll have to be yet another reset coming out for Complexity. And Luminosity have been doing a good job of holding, and probably only 2 really solid attempts for Complexity left. I'd say maybe even more, like 1.5 attempts for them. They're looking to come back in right now and engage. Still running this triple DPS composition, but now coming in with the dive off of Winston. Nano Blade as well. Nicholas not finding anything off the barrage. 3 kills come the way of Luminosity, and they might just be able to take this map in finally in the end, because they're at 90%. Complexity just couldn't get anything done with these ultimates. Torque, I don't even think, was able to get the Nano Blade that he was looking for off, and now with a Pulse Bomb coming out onto Winghaven, he couldn't land it. Luminosity with the reverse sweep, bringing it back, and they will take map number 1 here on Lijiang Tower.